welcome to Stories with Maya's Amma. Today is a very different kind of conversation, a lot of fun. I'm going to let you in on a lot of influencer behind the scenes information on this series, Influencer Secrets. Okay, so one of the most common questions I got to answer is it a quick and easy way to earn money? A lot of people have asked me, ma'am, you have 5 lakh followers on Instagram. How much does Instagram pay you? How do you react on the negative comments you receive? Does it affect you? Can a college youngster or graduate get into influencing? How do you react when people recognize you? What about your child? How does she take it? How do children of child influencers deal with fame and attention? Nambaduma namba kudada. How do we trust these products that are being sold? So in the beginning of their creator journey, they might start off as a solo entity by being the editor, the photographer, the script writer, everything. So if you're not directly paying for the product, you are the product. Even when you take 100 pictures with your friends on vacation, you will most probably post the photo that has minimum issues in it, right? Is that a problem? These days, I don't think youngsters are too worried about being in a sustainable career because nothing is for long term these days. Hello and welcome to Stories with Maya's Amma. Today is a very different kind of conversation, a lot of fun. I'm going to let you in on a lot of influencer behind the scenes information on this series, Influencer Secrets, Part 1. So I've been in this field of content creation for the past 10 years and I've known a lot of influencers, people who grew along with me, and who grew because I mentored them, people who started creating content organically, people who started creating content consciously for the sake of creating content, lots and lots of celebrities. I've gotten the privilege to know a lot of these people. So yes, I do have a lot of insider information today and I'm going to spill all of it with you all because I did a Q&A and my goodness, the kind of questions I got, so interesting. I'll just quickly read through these questions. I don't know if I'll be able to answer all of these things in today's episode. So that's why I told you it's part 1. We can do it as 3 parts, 5 parts. I don't know how far it will go. You can also share interesting questions in the comments and I will take those questions. Anyway, I'm going to read these questions so that you will know whether your question that you had to ask an influencer, is it there in my list? Okay, so one of the most common questions I got to answer is it a quick and easy way to earn money? How much do you earn as an influencer? These were the top questions, okay? Answers vary from influencer to influencer. You all know that, but I'll give you my perspective. You have made more than 1,400 posts and reels, especially on your Instagram. How do you keep consistent in posting? Good question. It's very hard, but I'll give you my perspective. How do you believe in your content? Don't you get self-doubt? That's a good question, okay? How do you react on the negative comments you receive? Does it affect you? The comment section gives me a headache sometimes. How do you keep calm being in this chaotic field? Interesting, no? Do you feel performance pressure even if you're being real? I like that question. What goes into your mind after posting a new post or reel? Psychological question. How lucrative is it as a career path? Is it a sustainable career path? Can a college youngster or graduate get into influencing or content creator field? Can an introvert become an influencer? I love this question. What do they do with all the free stuff they get? Okay. Have you ever found yourself conflicted against your own principles as an influencer? I love this question. Really, you guys are thinking really interestingly. Another question is about on-camera identities. Does your family accuse you of not being real? Is life on screen scripted or real? How much of it is scripted? How do some influencers live life always recording, clicking pics, updating their lives? How do you establish a boundary between personal and public life? Okay, some more questions. I'll quickly read through, okay? Um, why should perfection be portrayed by influencers? How do you react when people recognize you? What about your child? How does she take it? How do children of child influencers deal with fame and attention? Do you cook or get special food made for you? Can postpartum mothers go on trips 2 months after birthing? Couple influencers, are those people for real? Nambanuma Nambakodada. How do we trust these products that are being sold? What kind of promotions do you do or stay away from? That's interesting. Can you share a creepy experience you've gone through as an influencer? What kind of influencers are spoiling this field? What do you not like about social media? Does social media affect you like it affects us? Oh my goodness. So many amazing, interesting questions. Some of them I'm thinking about it for the first time, in fact. So, again, like I told you, I don't know how many I'll be able to deal with in this video, but most of it we'll talk about, okay? Now, before we begin, let me just make it clear that my role as an influencer might not be very comparable to other influencers in the field because I'm portraying myself as a training and development facilitator. I'm a trainer by profession. Am I just here to sell clothes, sell fashion ideas, sell cookery tips? No. So I'm here doing a different kind of work. So my perspectives might not suit all kinds of influencers or everybody in the social media business. However, I can give you my perspectives and my opinion on all these questions so that you get an idea about how the lives of these people are, lives of people like me. Okay, so we'll start with the topmost question that has been sent, which is it a quick and easy way to earn money? First of all, there is no easy way to earn money. Let me make that very clear. Getting into the question, I don't think I'll be able to answer this question as a typical social media influencer because I'm in this field for the past 10 years, not only as an influencer but as an educator. So I'm in the training and development field. I am a trainer by qualification. My main source of income is selling of my courses and workshops. So I don't think my answer would suit every other influencer in the market. However, I'll give you my perspective on this. So I'm here as a trainer and facilitator. I educate people on mental health, parenting, sex ed, sometimes even social issues. That is my main kind of content. This question is more suited to an influencer or social media person who is into brand collaborations because that's the topmost way to make money in this field. And for me, I don't do a lot of brand collaborations, mainly because it doesn't suit the kind of work I do. I'll tell you why. There are a lot of reasons. There are some brand collaborations I do, some I don't do. So I'll talk about it when I talk about it. But since brand collaborations are the topmost, or I would say the best way to make money, and I don't do that a lot, I don't make too much money. That's a fact. So I just make money for living my life. So I am a typical working woman here on social media also. Though yes, I do make a lot of content, lot of free content. That is not what I'm here for predominantly. I still have to sell my courses. So for me, it's different. And I can't partner with all kinds of brands. Because of certain reasons, I will talk about those reasons. But an extension to that question is, yes, there is no easy way to make money. There is a lot of hard work. There is a lot of smart work. There is a lot of creativity that goes behind social media / influencing business. Because if you as a person has that question of, is it an easy way to make money or isn't it an easy way to make money, I would challenge you to just make a couple of videos and see if people like them. Because it's hard. It's hard to put yourself out there. It's hard to, for some people, it's hard to even take a photograph of themselves without feeling insecure and without feeling scared as to how people would see them, so it's so hard to put yourself out there. It takes a lot of guts, so it's not easy. I will not agree to the fact that it is an easy way to make money. It looks like an easy way because you see people dancing or singing or performing, but that's not easy. um, so um, post some videos on your feed and see if that allows you to make money or make people to like you or make brands to contact you. That is when you'll actually know whether it's easy or not, and it's not easy. So what makes a person do this kind of work? They have to fit any of these criterias. Are they likable? So generally, there are so many fashion influencers. But why do you follow certain number of people? Or why do you follow that particular fashion influencer? There is something that you like about that person, right? So there is that likability factor. Then there is adding value. In what way is that person adding value into that field? That is always there. Like, for example, in my field, there are so many educators and influencers in the field of mental health. But then different people add value into different fields. For me personally, my area of interest is parenting. For another person, it can be other clinical disorders. For another person, it can be completely related to social issues. So, what kind of value are they adding? Another aspect of looking at it is, are they solving a specific problem? That's another way how people shine in this field, Is there a problem? And does this person have a solution to that problem? So that's another way people, shine or get famous or get popular or become likable, become followable, become subscribable on social media. Another important point we need to take into consideration is the kind of efforts that they take. Some people can post a home video without any extra gimmicks or added production value and just post a video from their car. I do a lot of videos like that from inside my car, because sometimes I'll drive somewhere, I'll get some idea, I'll park the car and just record something. So compared to that, let's say a person is in a studio and there's a camera. So right now there's a camera in front of me. There are, there is a crew behind the camera. So there are lights, this setup and all these things, that. So the kind of effort that they put into their content also matters. So a lot of these things come into picture. And one more thing I'd like to say when it comes to, is it an easy way to make money, is people see only the outcome. People do not see or can't see the efforts that go behind the scenes. Like, for example, in my case, for example, you see a reel in which I'm talking about some specific mental health issue or a latest study or a parenting concept that I discovered in my parenting journey. It can be anything. But when you see that content, yes, you see it. But what is behind that is the research that has gone, or the experience that I have gained, or the idea, the creative spark that I got. And there is that scripting, because I need to bring everything into that 1 minute. It's so hard, If you allow me to talk about a subject, I can talk about anything for maybe an hour. So bringing things into short form content is very hard for me. But for some people, it's very easy. For them, it's so easy to say 5 points, 10 tips to do this, 3 ways you can, But for me, it's so hard. For me, making short form content is so difficult. And that is one reason why I have this podcast now. So please motivate me by subscribing and showing love, okay? Yeah, so the research, the scripting, the shooting, again, that is where the effort goes, Is it a proper studio shoot? Is it you doing your own thing with your own phone, your own selfie camera? So the shoot and then the editing. For example, see, if I need to take a segment from a long video like this, I need to put my brain to know which portion is clickbait, which portion is educational, which portion is fun or interesting. And if that content is 3 minutes or 4 minutes, I have to then use my brain to know which are the lines I can cut so that I can make it into a 90-second content to put it on Instagram. So all that takes a lot of effort, and the post production, the music that you add, your thought goes into everything, right? And the subtitles, even today, yes, there is AI for subtitles, but a small mistake, a small typo, all these things are very important for the creator. For the consumer, it might not be a big deal, but from the creator's angle, all these little things matter. But yes, many people have a whole different team doing all this work. Some people do it by themselves. So in the beginning of their creator journey, they might start off as a solo entity by being the editor, the photographer, the script writer, everything. And then in that journey, let's say they get to a point where they can't handle all of it, or they're making enough money that they can pay other people to get these jobs done, they will outsource it. So that's pretty much how it is. And nope, it is not easy to make money as an influencer. No work is easy. A follow-up question that came along with this question is, how much do you earn as an influencer? Which again is an extension of the previous question. I don't know, many people don't realize that Instagram does not pay you. A lot of people have asked me, ma'am, you have 5 lakh followers on Instagram. How much does Instagram pay you? No, Instagram does not pay you anything for having 500,000 followers or 1 lakh followers or 10 million followers, how much ever you have. It is based on the brand collaborations that you get paid. So in my case, yes, I do have 5 lakh followers, but by default, there is no payment that I get just because there are so many number of followers. If I make use of the number of followers and do a brand collaboration, then yes, I get money from the brand. So Instagram does not pay you. I think that is there in some Western countries. They are trying out something wherein Instagram is paying the creator, but nothing of that sort in India, as far as I know. YouTube, yes, YouTube does give money. Now this is a new channel, so I've not started making money yet, but YouTube does pay a portion of the revenue to the creator. For me, it doesn't count because I'm new here. And for me, this question doesn't suit a lot because, like I told you, I still have to sell my courses to make money. So though I create content, though I engage with my audience, I do read comments, I am full-time on the DMs, I have to do my Q&As, I have to do my live interactions, I have to keep the page as engaged as possible, but that doesn't get me money. I still have to talk about my courses, my classes, my sessions, my app, ask people to download them, ask people to listen to them, ask people to learn, Zoom calls, discussions. These things and all I need to do parallelly so that I can earn money. And it's so hard to make a person buy a course. It's very easy or comparatively easier for a person to buy a cream for 500 rupees or a piece of clothing, maybe a t-shirt for 1,000 rupees. But it's so hard to make a person spend that same 1,000 rupees for a mental health course. We have not got there yet where people realize that they know it's important, but it's not urgent. So there's a lot of difference between what is important and what is urgent, right? Mental health or sex ed, all of this is important. Yeah, I know. But is it urgent? No, not much. I can deal with it later, right? We are all used to that. So though there are all these courses that I have, it's not like hundreds of people are buying it and using it. No. Because again, in courses also it varies, a photography course or a mentalism course or a cookery course, the way that gets sold compared to the way a mental health oriented course gets sold, it's so different. So there are a lot of these parameters that comes into play in my field. So it's not as comparable to other educators and influencers. Yeah, because it's a very niche field I'm working in. And like I told you before, collaborations are the best way to make money on social media especially. And for me personally, I don't do too many collabs, so that is also not in my jurisdiction. I do collaborations very rarely and with brands that I resonate with completely, or if I'm using that brand, or if I feel that is definitely going to serve the community in some way, or if it's something related to sexuality health, and mine is a main kind of audience that the brand needs. So something very niche, something very specific, something that doesn't have too many side effects. That those are the kind of things that I usually partner with, and it's very rare that I get something like that, because though my area of expertise is quite niche, I'm still seen as a mommy blogger. So when I'm seen as a mommy blogger, the kind of brands that come to me are related to um, fast moving consumer goods like cosmetics, packaged food, something related to children, games, toys, those kind of things. So I'm not a big fan of promoting FMCG products. So I cannot collaborate with too many of those brands. So yeah, it's a very different thing for me compared to others in this field. Yeah. Another question that is related to this that came was, what do people do with all the free stuff that they get? Again, like I told you, I cannot answer on everyone's behalf because I don't do the kind of promotions other influencers do. So I don't get a lot of free stuff. But to begin with in this journey, yes, there were a lot of barter collaborations that used to happen, because your friends and family itself might be into small businesses, and they'd probably ask you, we have this clothing business, can you just, talk about these pajamas or some bed sheet or whatever, and then you're like, okay, fine, and then you get these freebies sent to you, and at one point you realize, oh my god, there's too much stuff. So that kind of a thing happened to me also in the beginning, wherein I used to accept and agree for barter collaborations and got some stuff, but very soon I realized that I don't want these things. So I stopped doing barter collaborations many years back. I think only for a year or so I tried something like that, but it didn't work for me because I was following kind of a minimalistic lifestyle at that point of time, even now for that matter. So too many things is clutter at home. I'm already decluttering every month. It's something like that for me. So I need to keep, cleaning stuff very often. So I can't do it. But I do know a lot of fashion influencers who get sent a lot of stuff. And they just keep it. Most of them just keep it. They donate it to their friends. They sometimes return it also. That also happens. So they get sent the clothing, they wear it, they do the content, and then they send it back. That kind of a thing also happens. So yeah, I don't get too many free stuff. I don't want a lot of free stuff. In fact, I remember recently when I was invited to a college, I told the college, the students who called me to not give me a bouquet, not give me a memento, because I don't know where to keep these things. If it's a bouquet, those flowers, I don't know what to do with the flowers. If it's a memento, I don't know where to keep the memento. So I just told them, just give me a rose or something. That's enough. So yeah, for me, I find it as a big headache to manage the clutter if I allow barter collaborations to happen. So it's so hard. But those who are doing it are doing it. Yeah, that's it. Another one that is related to this is Nambaduma Nambakudada, all these products. So basically in Tamil, she has asked whether she can believe or not believe the kind of ads and product promotions that happen on social media. So there's no point asking me if you can trust something on social media, because not just on social media, wherever it is, you have to take things with a pinch of salt, right? Wherever you are, in a movie theater, there are ads. On TV channels, there are ads. On social media, there are ads. On YouTube, there are ads. So if you're not directly paying for the product, you are the product. Okay. You are being sold a lot of things. It can be an idea, it can be a service, it can be a product, it can be the connect that a person is trying to establish with a brand, so that later on you go buy that brand. It might not be immediately that you buy something from the brand, but when there is that subconscious reiteration and repetition of certain brand names, certain products, certain services, if not now, maybe later you might go consume it or buy it or use it. So, influencing is happening every day, not just on social media by an influencer. On TV, when we watch our favorite TV show, there are ads, no? In fact, there are not even ad breaks. It's there right at the bottom or right in the edge. They do show something or the other, right? So products are everywhere. Influencing is happening everywhere. So if you watch a TV program or a movie on your TV channel and then there comes an ad, if you don't question, can I believe this product? Then why are you questioning it on social media? Use the same discretion, same common sense when you buy something or consume something on social media. If somebody is talking about a product, yes, there is always a possibility that they would have used it. Personally, yes, I don't sell anything if I don't use it. That's one reason why I don't sell anything, because I don't use many products. But you ask the same kind of questions, Do you feel, are they using it? Do you get that energy and vibe whether they are using it? Or did you see the same person market a different cream just 1 week before? And then they are selling a cream a week later telling that I've been using it for 6 months. Do you find an inconsistency? Do you feel you can trust the person? Why are you following them in the first place if you don't trust them or like them, right? So these are questions that the consumer needs to ask themselves before purchasing something, using something, buying something. Use your discretion, use your common sense, I would say. See, this is not only for products and services, okay? Let's say you're watching a reality show, you're watching a talk show, you're watching two sides debating about a certain topic. How do you decide which side is right? Or let's say the moderator is speaking on behalf of one angle, and then the moderator is able to explain things in such a way that it's so charming, so well articulated. You can automatically have a bias, right? Oh yeah, this guy is right. What is the proof that the guy is right? What if the other side is right? So just like you use your own discretion, your own common sense in deciding what concept might be right for you, you have to use the same thing to decide what product or service might be right for you. Also, there's this very interesting question. Why should perfection be portrayed by influencers? Now, this depends on whether the person is a perfectionist, yeah. I'm not a perfectionist. So, if you see a reel or a content in my home, you might see laundry on the sofa, you might see a water bottle on the table. But in many home influencers pages, I have seen houses that are spick and span. I have seen very artistic quality in their videos. So all that depends on the personality of the person or what they want to show through their content. If they're trying to show that perfectionism and cleanliness and everything, the content will be made in such a way. In my case, since my focus is on the content and on the message that I'm trying to drive home, I might not be too bothered about the water bottle on the table or my child's dress lying here and there. So it totally depends on the content creator and their personality also, I feel, and what they're trying to convey through that content. So it's not like all influencers focus on perfection. It's depending on their personality. And another thing is, to a large extent, when you're putting yourself in front of the camera, you'll try to do it in such a way that there is less mistakes, there is less imperfections, right? It's always like that, no? Even when you take 100 pictures with your friends on vacation, you will most probably post the photo that has minimum issues in it, right? Is that a problem? Is that okay? Is it fine? It's fine, right? Yeah. But does that mean that is you? Without pimples, without freckles, without a hair out of place? No, right? That is one version of you. So have again the common sense to understand that when you see perfect content, the person or their life might not be perfect or artistic every single day. That might be one day, and you are seeing just 1 minute of their life. So they will portray it in a very clean, neat, perfect way, right? So it doesn't mean it's always like that. Again, like I told you, please take whatever you see on social media with a pinch of salt. Not a pinch, I think I would say a bucket of salt. I've got some questions about taking social media content creation as a career path, as a career choice. Uh, there are a lot of questions. I'm going to deal with just one now, and we'll finish off part one here. Otherwise, it'll go on and on and on. Yeah, okay. So that question is, how lucrative is social media content creation as a career path? Is it a sustainable career path? Very interesting question, no? Two things. Number one, I'm not somebody who got into content creation for content creation. I started off just blogging, my experiences as a parent, and I became a content creator and influencer in that journey. But there are people who want to get into it consciously. Like, for example, I know people who buy camera, mic, lights, everything that they need to create content and start off. I think this question suits them more than a person like me who started off simply posting about my parenting experiences and in that journey just got into content creation as a regular thing. So that is there. That is number one. Number two is, what are you going to talk about? Because like I told you, a fashion influencer might get a completely different target audience and collaboration opportunities compared to somebody in mental health. I don't get anybody. Or maybe I get people very rarely approaching me to promote something or talk about something. So, the kind of money that you'd make in content creation totally depends on what you're planning to talk about. If it's something very niche, very specific, something that will only suit a certain kind of audience, then the brands that approach you will also come down in number, right? The pool comes down compared to somebody who's into photography or modeling or fashion or even food for that matter, right? So these two things I think you can consider. And is it a sustainable career path? See, that question comes from our parents' generation actually, because our parents were the ones very worried about, will you get salary, will you get pension? And there was this whole generation that was pushed into government jobs, right? Because it was a sustainable option. It's a safe option because you know what is the amount of money that you'll get every month, and you will know even after you retire, you will get your pension and stuff. These days, I don't think youngsters are too worried about being in a sustainable career because nothing is for long term these days. For a certain period of time, you feel like doing something, you do it, and then afterwards, you feel like doing something else, you go do something else. That is why a lot of people get into their engineering and their MBA and other fields and then end up doing something completely different, right? There are a lot of photographers that I know that are engineers by qualification, but then they are into movie industry and photography and other things. So these days, I don't think people are too worried about sustainable career and all. Okay, whatever they feel like doing at that point of time, they're doing it. And then afterwards, they get interested in something else and then they transition into something else. So is it a sustainable career path? As long as influencing business thrives, yes, it's good. It's going to give you money. But everything has a timeline. Currently, it's going very well. So if the timeline is done, then you'll have to find something else. But, how do you live with that fear, right? Oh, will this field survive? Will it, continue forever? You can't be in that fear, right? So don't allow such kind of fears and insecurities to be the main point of decision making. If you like something, if you are passionate, if you are driven towards doing it, and if something is pulling you into it, you should just do it. Don't think of sustainability and all. Whatever money you might make in a proper job, doing it for many, many years, you might make it in a couple of months doing this kind of a thing. Again, I'm not talking about fields like mine, okay? Be very careful when you're getting into fields like mine because this doesn't give you that much money. Again, I'm not here for that money. I'm here for something else. I'll talk about it in the upcoming episodes that we talk about influencer behind the scenes. But yeah, so if you're into something very mainstream, you can make a lot of money. You can create an impact. You can add value depending on the efforts that you take. And of course, the likingness that people have um, to you as a person. So it is a good career path. You can choose it if you are driven and passionate and your creativity calls for something like this. Go for it. Yeah, so many more questions are there in the list. Real life. How is my child coping up with the recognition that I get? What about people identifying you in public? Uh, Travel influencers, couple influencers. Are they real? Are they faking it? What about your life? How much of it is scripted? So many interesting perspectives to look at social media as a career option and influencing as a career choice, right? I will deal with the remaining questions in the upcoming video. I hope you had fun listening to my answers in this video. Like I told you, my perspectives are my own. It's from my own lived experience as well as from the experiences that I have heard from my celeb friends, from my influencer friends who got into content creation both accidentally as well as consciously. So these are my own opinions and perspectives. Please keep that in mind. I will see you all in the upcoming episodes of this series, Influencer Secrets and Behind the Scenes Insider Information. Until then, you all take care. Sending a lot of love and healing from Swati. Bye bye.